And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Wrong Side Simulations Red Eye Edition. We are going to be flying to my hometown, which I don't know if we've really ever done. I think we've done it once here on the Wrong Side channel. But nonetheless, guys, welcome to another episode of Wrong Side Simulations. Bringing the best content from the wrong side of the airplane, the right seat. And as always, my name is Blake, and I'm a real-world flight dispatcher, aiming to bring you a little more context to your flight sim viewing experience. And today we are flying probably my number 2 arch nemesis. I would say number 1 would have to be the A310. Seeing how I have not yet successfully landed at my destination anytime I've ever tried flying that airplane. So this is number 2. We have successfully landed this airplane before, but it's never easy. I always struggle with it and get my ass kicked. If only I had Shaq in the left seat to guide my soul in his ever so loved CRJ, which I think it's a good looking airplane from the outside, but on the flying aspect, it's a piece of shit. And you can kiss my ass. But nonetheless, guys, Jay's already talking about it. Let's see what we got. Good morning, Jay. I'm guessing are you at work or are you at home flying? I saw that last night, or I guess early this morning. No, early yesterday morning. You were flying a 787-10 over. Where were you going? London or something? I don't know. You were doing long haul. I was like, yeah, he asleep. He ain't actually flying that flight. But I saw you on Virtual United because I flew the 737 from Newark over to the new Portland, Maine airport that I realized I did not install when I landed. So I have yet to actually see how that airport's looking. I already had all this set up, so I was like, I'm not gonna redo the sim stream that I already set up just to go do Portland, because I did think about it to go fly there and look at it. But nonetheless, dude, thank you regardless whether you are Paris and you were sleeping. I knew you were. But thanks for joining. And we also got Pilot Porter in the house. What is up, dude? Tolus 320 Neo projected to release tomorrow at 9 a.m. And you're looking forward to it. Well, good. I have yet to since we've gotten the MD, the 7.3s and the Airbus, I haven't really touched X-Plane at all since. But I think I'm thinking about the Tolus 320 Neo myself. From the streams I've watched, it's looked a little bit enticing. Yeah, watch how fast the sun comes up. I was actually doing the same thing this time yesterday. When I was getting ready to fly to Portland, I did a sunrise departure out of Newark. And if this is correct, and how fast the sun comes up, it's surprisingly quick. But nonetheless, good morning to everybody. I don't know about y'all, but I'm quite tired. I don't know why I didn't have such a super hard day. Today was I actually enjoyed today at work. My dispatchers, I had quite a number of newer dispatchers on the desk, and they had a lot of questions, needing some help just with the quirky software that we use. And I always enjoy helping my dispatchers the most, because I feel like that's the true purpose of what my job as a dispatch manager is to help the newer guys and bring them up and try to set them up for success. So anyways, let's jump in the cockpit and let's get after this thing. We will be taking off with the sun behind us, which is always great, because it sucks to fly with the sun in your face in a big old cockpit with 180 degrees of windows in front of you. Been there, done that quite a few times, and if you didn't bring your sunglasses, it's not fun. I can promise you that. So again, guys, for anybody who hasn't watched me fly the CRJ, actually for those who have, you know that I beat myself up, as Jay said, in the CRJ. So don't expect ultra bougie realism, because we know that this ain't my plane, y'all. Y'all know that to be true. Right, so what button do I want to actually hit? This one, and then this one. Sweet. Alright. Gotta remember this damn airplane. So first things first, just like in any airplane, batteries on. Even the old, let's do a test. I was like last minute setting up this camera. All right, cool, it's working. I'm going ground power. Now, other big thing to note. I currently have the Ftsim CRJ sounds installed. Pretty much every button switch sound does not work. Now I don't know if this is just because it's lacking in the Ftsim sound pack or if I installed it incorrectly. I did notice when I was installing it and some of the directions that it was saying to like remove something or some shit, whatever it was telling me to do, it wasn't in there. I wasn't seeing the files it was talking about, so something was off. So anyways, my point is the sounds for the switches and whatnot, which they were already shit from Aerosoft as it is, which makes me less excited about the A330 because I feel like it's going to be the same quality, where essentially every switch has the same exact sound. I digress. So the sounds for the switches don't exist. We'll hear engine sounds, we'll hear like battery sounds and stuff like that, but as I adjust things on the autopilot panel or switches on the cockpit, overhead and whatnot, you're just not going to hear anything. So it kind of sucks. Like that. That was silent. So we'll keep the music playing so it won't be as noticeable. Alrighty. So battery, ground power, nav, lights on. Leave the APU off for now. Hydraulics can stay off. Cam pressure, I don't know. Recirc fan, we'll turn that on. Turn the do I have ground air turned on? Nope. Now we do. Who knows if we'll even hear it or not. But it's working, so now we don't have fault lights. Let's see. Anti-ice, we definitely don't need that on. Windshield. Heat, we'll get that on. Probe heat, we'll turn that on as well. Don't mind leave that off. Emergency lights will arm. Seatbelt signs, we'll go ahead and turn them on because we do have fuel on board. And we'll turn the no smoking into auto. Everything else looks good to me from there. Autopilot stuff we'll come back to later. From here, get our IRSs into nav. I think everything else is kind of come back to later type shit. We are not final Ftsim because I am not nearly proficient enough in this airplane to do so. I ain't stupid enough to try. Alright, let's come down here, tell the airplane where the hell we're at. So we are flying Atlanta, Georgia, to my hometown of Monroe, Louisiana, where my aviation career started. I used to work, which, is it not copy like? Yeah, I guess not. Where I used to work above and below wing for Delta Airlines. Did that for 5 years before getting a job in dispatch. So we're going to go back to where it all began. KATL. Heading on over to K Mike Lima uniform. I planned this flight last night, and then I just did a recalculate right now to update the winds and the burns. But I don't know what Monroe's weather is like. So what we'll do, I'm sure a lot of people may not use this, but we'll scroll down to our weather packet. And the current METAR in Monroe, wind 0 at 3 knots, 10 statute miles, clear skies, temperatures 102.3, altimeter 3046, nice high pressure, so would expect some pretty good weather out there. Right now, currently in Atlanta, winds are 320 at 11, 10 statute miles, feet at 25,000, temperatures 102.9, altimeter 3027. So we got some good weather in Atlanta as well. Alright, let's see what comes next, because I really don't know. We'll put in our flight number, Skywest 5460. I think Endeavor is who actually flies into Monroe, but we'll pretend like it's Skywest. I like Skywest better anyways. Let's go departure, and we'll be departing off of, this says 26 left, I'm going to switch that to 27 right, because we're actually, yeah, we're going more south. So 27 right. We're on the Cajun 2. Stinga transition. And that's pretty much it for as far as the bulk of the route. After that, it's going to be ILS runway 4, and then we'll just do vectors. So let's go legs, and then we're just going to leave that because this will get us all messed up throwing that in there. So we'll execute that. VNav. Let's go over to our cruising altitude of 32,000 feet. Execute. And let's go. Perf. Let's see. So we can give us flex. Call it a flex of 55. Alrighty, perf for our zero fuel weight, we're looking at 57,749. Feels correct. Passenger weight and cargo pound, only care about doing all that. Zero fuel weight, so you don't really need this, at least in real life. I don't know about specifically this airplane, but zero fuel weight accounts for the passengers' weights and pound or their bags, so couldn't care less about doing that stuff. And I don't know about any of this other shit. Whatever. I think that's gonna be good enough. Y'all will probably know more than I would. AvGeek Ricks, what's going on, my friend? Welcome, welcome. Great to see you. Florida Wings as well. What's up, dude? Glad to see you on Microsoft Flight Sim overnight shift. Yes, sir. Just got off of work. I got off at midnight. Came before I before I got home. I stopped by McDonald's. Man, I cannot talk tonight. Tell it's been working all day. Stopped by McDonald's and got some McDoubles and a French fry because I didn't get to go get dinner tonight. Well, I was pretty hungry, and then came home and got this all squared away. Let's see. I don't think there's really anything else left as far as FMS goes. Alright, let's get our performance. I'm gonna go flaps 8 departure. Runway is dry, so we'll set all of those into our PFD. And let's go ahead and start getting this APU rolling. Looking for door open and start. Ooh, Jay, that sucks. Day 2 of 5. I'm on day. Today was day 3 of 4. So I got tomorrow, then off for 4. And we're on the good part of the rotation where Crystal's at work and I'm home. Actually, no. Yeah, so then I'm going to be off for 6. I'm not going to be off for 4. Took 2 days off. He's got a wedding to go to, which I'm not very happy about because had to rent a suit. Had to buy Crystal her stupid dress. Had to pay for an Airbnb. It's cost me like $500 just to attend a friend's wedding, which pisses me off. Alright, so APU is at 100% RPM. So with that, we can disconnect from ground power. So I guess it automatically, I don't know, stupid CRJ stuff. Hear the AC coming on, so that's always a good sign. Aircraft, we'll disconnect ground power and air. And we'll close up. I would imagine they're done outside. Looks like they are. Yep. See them doors closing. Cool. Oh man, I never hit start on the boarding. That's okay. Let's go. Just tell it to load instantly. For packs. Yeah, you better be. Alright. Whoa. Fuel boost pumps on. everything in the auto and the hydraulics. We'll leave the packs on for now until engine starts. And let's see. I guess I do need Navigraph pulled up. I've gotten used to, for the last few streams, we flew in the Phoenix, and I had the Phoenix EFB on my actual physical EFB. So I've kind of gotten used to that. Now I keep forgetting to open my Navigraph charts every flight. Unload, import, yep. So just from known Atlanta, our top altitude on the SID should be 10,000 feet. I'm about to find out. SID, Cajun. And what do you know? It is 10,000 feet. Sweet. Cool. Alright, so our V speeds are set. Altitude is set. Runway heading is 275. So let's put that in there. Be on the safe side. Damn it, passed it. $275 is in there. All right. Still got that jet bridge hooked up. Yep. Operate jetways. And prepare for pushback.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
Cool. I think we're looking good.
Captain, we are ready for pushback.
Let's see. Currently in top of descent, heading into Charlotte. That's always the best part, right? When you're getting closer to descent and you finally get to like do something again. You get to put your hands on the controls and actually land the damn airplane.
Bypass pin inserted.
Cruise gets a little bit boring sometimes. Oh, 145. So, Avgeek, you must be flying, if I had to guess, probably X-Plane, right? I don't think we have any 145s for Microsoft. Getting my 4090 build in the mail. Oh shit! That's you are going to love having a 4090 because I've got one as well, and it changes the entire world of flight sim. Do you use TAA or DLSS3? Do they even have DLSS3 implemented? I don't know if they do, or maybe they do. But so here's my settings. Now when making my settings, I worked with my buddy over at Jetline Systems. Jetline, they specialize in flight sim computers. They do a lot of testing and et cetera, et cetera. So they're the smart people, right? So here is what I do. TAA, and have my render scaling at 100%. Like my monitor is in 3840 by 2160, but y'all see 1440 because a 4090 is capable of doing it. 100% on the AMD, that shit. VSync is on, 100% monitor refresh rate, DirectX 12, and then also the big thing is NVIDIA DLSS frame generation. I have that on. Yeah, I do not use the DLSS that they have on here. Use the TAA, and that was by go back, discard. That was by recommendation my buddy Tony over at Jetline. So I would probably recommend doing the same, at least maybe until this new sim update comes out. Maybe things are a little bit different. Let's go nose left.
Release parking brakes, please.
Alright, stop those and y'all can hear these the Ftsim sounds.
Release
Once we
parking
get
brakes,
this
please.
seat all set up. Get all pilot boy.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
Use flight simulator steering axis. Should be what we want. I don't think I've tried flying this airplane since I've gotten my tiller, which I don't think y'all be able to see, but it's over here on my right hand. It's an Airbus tiller, but it works great for any airplane. Whoa, did not know my flap lever was down. Nothing to see here, guys. Alright, let's turn the packs off. Fuel pumps are on. And we'll let's roll engine 2 first.
Please set parking brakes.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
XP11, nice. I did get X-Plane 12, but I haven't even like fully installed it yet. That's how little I've actually touched X-Plane. Alright, let's roll number 1. Shine the light at them, let them know that we got it. And introduce fuel. The sounds are a little bit quiet, but you'll hear them better once we get going. Skyfall, what's up, dude? Wait, what is this red eye? So, I mean, I guess technically it's not a red eye in the sim since it's daylight, but for us, for me especially, after just working 10 hours, it's definitely a red eye. But we are operating Skywest flight 5460 service from Atlanta, Georgia to my hometown of Monroe, Louisiana. Small little town, home of Duck Dynasty, which nobody gives a shit about anymore. Alright, so we got a good start on number 2. Back up to the overhead, we'll turn the packs back on, shut down the APU. And coming on down here, arm the reverse thrust. We can go flaps 8. And let's see what's our trim for takeoff. Trim is 7.3, and we're at 7.5. So there we go, 7.3. Stab trim, mock trim, and yaw damper. Cool. Everything else looks good. We'll just shut the APU door. So get rid of that little message down there. It did. And we are good to start taxiing. There we go. That's the magic trick. Man, this airplane's scooting. Oh, wait a minute. Shit. I think... Oh, that rudder shit's doing it to me again. Stand by. Parking brake. I don't know why my damn rudder's... It's been doing this a lot. I mean, I'm gonna have to get to the point where, like, when I get into the sim, I'm having to, like, unplug and replug in the rudder pedals. These brakes were not working. If y'all recall, in the last couple streams when we landed, it was doing the same thing. Like, everything works for takeoff. We come to land, and all of a sudden, I have no brakes, no rudder, no nothing. Got them now. We do have live traffic on. Good point, Jay. I don't know. I'll have to run it and see. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Spurt. Man, this thing, like, I'm telling you, give it just very little power and it's rolling. So we're carrying 50 passengers out of 70. Fair amount of fuel, not too terribly much, about as much as you would typically take for an hour-long CRJ flight. Let's talk to the passengers real quick. And ladies and gentlemen, from the cockpit, we will be off the ground here momentarily, looking at bin number 1 for departure. Looking at a solid 1 hour and 23 minutes from wheels up to wheels down, and nice clear skies in Monroe with some chilly temperatures. But as always, I want to thank you for flying Delta. Flight attendants prepare the cabin for departure. Like a pro. Let's see what we got going on over here. Cool. Running 4-flight over here on my EFB. Alright, I'm going to hold right here. See, this is what irritates me about Atlanta. I always get double textures. I'm not a fan. At all. And that one on. Okay, so I think over here, got a little button that'll display the flight directors. Put the airplane in like a ready to go mode kind of thing. So we'll hit nav once we get off the ground, along with speed. Cool. I'm just trying to remind myself of the CRJ-isms. Alrighty, we're clear on the approach, clear down the runway. Approaching 27 right. 12,000 feet remaining. Thank you, 4-flight. Alright guys, again, I am not a CRJ guy whatsoever, so whatever happens on this stream, I'm gonna go ahead and apologize. Have to uninstall ATL by Asobo. Did that and doesn't seem to work. Also, I even uninstalled them and uninstalled ImagineSim, then reinstalled it to try to like get to prioritize over. And here we are. Oh well. Alright, here we go. A little bit of a right quartering crosswind. There's 80 knots. V1 and rotate. You got a positive rate? You're up. Alrighty. Nav. Speed. Those are down and accelerates. And go flaps up. And we are flying. Jesus, that's huge. Alright, we're going to try to fly it up a little bit. I'm too afraid I'm going to get too far off the flight directors and screw everything up. So we'll take it up to 9,000, turn on the autopilot. That way I can take my hand off and actually, oh, actually I don't need to. Because we can go, alright, climb power. And so we want altitude, so that's going to be all the way up. And I guess that doesn't work on the honeycomb. That's great. Alright, autopilot. Autopilot is engaged. And altitude 32. $10,000. We can disarm those reversers now. Noticeable steering, although I'm sure I'll forget. Let me turn that back on, because I'll forget about it when we land and be like, why is this thing not turning? Oh Lord. Okay. So why did the airplane not pitch for speed? It was in speed mode, so I would think that when you have it in speed, then it should pitch to maintain that speed. Or maybe it kicked out whenever I increased the altitude to 32,000. Because it looks like it's working now. We're climbing like a fucking rocket. We just gotta make sure that we pay close attention to when we get to cruise, that we then, cause at that point we're gonna have to manually change our thrust to not overspeed and whatnot. This airplane does not have a true VNAV. And so what kind of sucks with that is you get stuck in the cockpit view a lot more. It's like when streaming, I have to go outside or to the window view, but we have to stay in here more. Or actually, disregard. No, I don't, because I can pop out the PFD, move it to a different screen where it's not in y'all's way. It's not a eyesore, but I can keep an eye on what the plane's doing while I'm giving y'all like the cinematic views and all that good shit. Alright, here comes 3,000. We push for standard. No, it's one of these buttons always never works. Which means I put it in 2992 and watch it flash for the next fucking hour. There we go. Alright, let's go do the other side. Oh wait, never mind. It's already done. If you see it keep freezing, that's because I'm adjusting the pop out. It freezes every time you do that. Where'd my Volanta go? There it is. Trying to get everything settled. All right, well, we are cruising. So what view would y'all like? Would y'all like a window view? Would y'all like an external view? Let me know what your heart desires, because I am here to please. That's what she said. Back to the chat. Southwest taxi. Let's see. That's why you do a hey. See, and that's part of the reason why, like, I love flying the Airbus, right? Because being that I'm an Airbus dispatcher, knowing the flows and whatnot, the brake check is in, like, it's the first thing you do as soon as we release the brakes. Get ready to start the taxi. Start rolling, brake check, pressure green, or pressure 0 rather, and then we are taxiing. But being that I don't have flows and checklists and whatever for this airplane, I mean, I guess I theoretically do have the checklist in here, but like, the CRJ checklist is so long, and I have a real one probably in that drawer over there. It's ridiculous how many items are on the CRJ checklist. Like, you would almost think that just based off of looking at the checklist that you can't trust a pilot to do anything or remember anything because the checklist is so daggum long. But that's the CRJ for you. Has a lot less automation, so I guess you need long checklists. Need to MEL those rotor pedals. It's deferrable. Oh yeah, I would like to see that on an MEL. It'd be like number installed 2, number required 0. Pilots be like, how? And then if I'm like, yeah, man, just set the parking brake every time I need to slow down. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Click, right click, then left click. What was that for, Jay? Right click, then left click what? Which I've changed my bindings on my mouse. Used to, I guess it's still there, but if you want to like look around, the default is to push your scroll wheel button, which is still bound, but I like to use the right mouse button to look around. And I think I got that from X-Plane. And we need to change that. I don't like all those airports. Nope. Just give me high nav aids, speed, ETA, sure. Let's put VNAV on there. Slow her down. We're getting it right up on that red line. See if speed works on this Bravo. Speed's gonna be all the way down. Hey, it works. So we'll take it down to 300 first. That'll pitch the airplane up a bit. So we'll take it down to 290. Since it's pitching for speed, it's going to use that excess speed, pitch up to bleed it off, and that'll also expedite our climb rate. I guess we'll need to put this in here, but as we get close, we'll definitely have to switch to heading mode. That's a really large discon. What is this? Why do I have a line going all the way out here? It's not great. I think Aerosoft needs to like update their CRJ with later versions of LNAV and shit. You can tell it's still running off that old, like the way that it would input. Shit, sorry. Flight Back Media Group. My bad, dude. I got distracted. Yes, Jetline is in Tampa. They definitely are. If you're looking for a good PC, especially for flight sim, man, you're not gonna find anybody better. Between the quality, the customer service, the support that they have, they're just freaking kick ass, and they can help you out with just about any budget that you got. In fact, call over there if you're interested, or even just want to kind of see what they can offer you. Ask for Tony and tell him that Blake over at Wrong Side Simulation sent you, and they'll know exactly who you're talking about. If you don't get Tony, tell them the Spirit Airlines dispatcher, and they'll know exactly who you're talking about. All right, now is when we got to go into manual power. Yeah, man, they are. They're right over next by the right next to the airport, like on the west side of the airport. I think there's like that Veterans Parkway road or whatever. They're like right next to that. Yeah, just tell them that Blake over at Wrong Side sent you, and who knows? Maybe they'll give you a little bit better of a hookup than they would someone else. So I'm pretty close with those guys, especially Tony. Me and Tony are good friends. Text each other all the time. And if it wasn't for Tony, beyond just the computer, but even like his know-how with OBS and stuff like that has, if it wasn't for him, like the channel, the quality that you're looking at right now would not exist, because I would have no idea what the fuck I'm doing and it would look like shit. So yeah, Airsoft hasn't touched this airplane in so long, and you can tell that they still have that old method of like adjusting waypoints in the airplane based off of like, it's almost like it's using the default flight planner that you would use in the menu. Like, it's not even a flight planner, but you just like click and waypoint. I don't even know. I haven't actually never really screwed with it because it's so bad. But you can tell the Aerosoft is still like on that old shit. And I think that's why we've got this extra line right here. It's like an anomaly that shouldn't be there, because the flight plan's correct. Cajun Stinga CFBJX, which is the initial approach fix on runway 4, and then Sabar, which should be the final approach fix. So this line is just random. It's like it's drawn off of obviously like a point behind us. It's kind of dumb. And so if this is like the quality, if this is the level of quality they're gonna be putting out on their Airbus, like I would still buy it, but like I wouldn't be super excited about the airplane. That's just me, because this is fucking dog shit. And so is that song. So Fight Back is, my eyeballs are getting bad. Fight Back, yeah. So Fight Back, whenever if you go over to over to Jetline, because you can always call, you can even place an order online, but if you go in person, you can actually like get other parts included in on your order, like say like a better case or whatever it may be, that they may not have online. There's actually a fair amount of things that you can have to choose from an in-person order than an online order So that's a perk. And then on top of that, they have like 3 or 4 simulators in there that you can go play around with as well. They got a VR sim that utilizes Aerofly FS2, which, in all honesty, for just a quick and easy, like, VR-friendly flight, Aerofly FS2 is really, really good. And honestly, the systems in the aircraft are far more superior than Microsoft Flight Sim up until, like, maybe a year ago, when we had like better aircraft coming out. They've got a space sim, they've got a DCS sim, they got quite a number of things over there. They actually used to have a lot more. They had a full motion sim, because they do sell full motion sims as well, not just like desktop computers, but they sell like actual big full motion sims. And we're not talking level D, like smaller, but they sell stuff to universities and things like that. Since then, they have developed a partnership with Virtual Flight Controls. So they cleared out this whole back room that they had, where they had multiple sim setups. Like they had their full motion back there. They had a Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 setup on a 49-inch 4K ultra wide, which I've got one up here, but I don't even fly on it. With like the Cessna panels and the steam gauges, like they had some like legit shit. But they cleared all that out for basically their warehouse for the Virtual flight control stuff. But they still have a lot of cool shit to go in there and play with. So if you go over there in person, you can play around with some of their toys. Check out the Virtual flight controls, because they use the Virtual flight controls on their sim setups. All that good stuff. So I would highly recommend running over there. And Jay uses... that's right, I forgot you told me about that. Tony did yell at me, though, when I told him that I got the Airbus side stick, like the FS Project side stick that V1's got. And I told him I got the HOTAS base. And he's like, bro, you should have got the Virtual. But in all honesty, I'm going based off of what V1 says. V1 says that the HOTAS... compared to the real airplane is closer to, as far as realism goes, than the Virtual, so I went with the Virtual. Sorry, Tony, I've only spent like 10 grand at Jetline in the past, so, or maybe not that much, maybe like 9. There you go. They should open up at 9. Pretty sure they open at 9. They're like a Monday through Friday type of place. You can't see shit on this wing view, can you? Let's go outside and see how that looks. Hopefully it's not too loud. Good looking airplane. And I tell you what, like Aerosoft's really good with external modeling. Like their model of the airplane is fucking superb. I'm just not at all happy with some of the systems as far as the depth. And like I don't even need like high fidelity study level, quote unquote, like just some shit that works. And right now, in my opinion, the way that it inserts waypoints in the FMS isn't great. Maybe they haven't updated because they're focused on the 330, and if that's the case, cool. But like the sounds need some work too, like the cockpit sounds, just not even so much the jets, like the engine sounds, but just like the general like clicks. My god, I'm telling you, I'm having a stroke today. I cannot fucking talk. But like the cockpit switches and all that stuff could definitely be way better, and not every one of them sound exact damn same. I wish I had, like, I wish I knew how many times I've flown this route in real life. In fact, this might be a good time. I have cockpit videos from a CRJ taking off in Atlanta, landing in Monroe. I could probably show you. But man, like, I used to date this Canadian chick for 2 years, and I would have to fly 4 legs there and 4 legs back. So with that being said, like, and I would always have to fly from Monroe to Atlanta, and then Atlanta back to Monroe whenever I was coming home. So I would love to know how many times I've actually flown from Monroe to Atlanta and Atlanta Monroe, because it's got to be, has to be well over 100 times. Not even like exaggerating. Yo, what's up, dude? Wrong Side has got that premium loyalty discount at Jetline. The way he talks about it, shit. Yeah, I don't know about no discounts and that kind of stuff. And you know, like, I was talking to Tony one time. This is probably a year ago, and he mentioned, I don't know if I should even be saying this, but he mentioned, like, maybe one day sponsoring a computer, and I was like, dude, why? He's like, oh man, he's like, you know, just we like what you're doing, and we have a great relationship with you. You know, you're a great person, and you're very passionate about flight sim and using it as a learning tool to, you know, become better in the aviation industry, as well as bringing other people up, that kind of stuff. I was like, man, I can't let y'all do that. Like, I'm blessed with a good job. I'll pay for the damn computer. But yeah, so there's no, like, I'm not sponsored. Although it's been talked about in the past, I'm definitely not sponsored. Like, it should be against the law to even have a sponsor if you have less than 1,000 subs. In my opinion, if I can't even be monetized by YouTube, then I feel like I shouldn't have a sponsor. But yeah, but no, I very much believe in their product, and they're incredibly amazing people. So I always talk them up, because they the shit. I didn't know this flight was an hour, almost an hour and a half. Otherwise, I'd have planned it up a little bit higher. We're at 32. Maybe we'll go to 36 anyways. It won't take us long to get up there. Like, hell, we're just now getting off of the SID. So let's try her out. VNAV. Give me it. I gotta put the zeros. Stupid. Altitude. Cool. Put it back in climb power. Speed. And there it goes. Starting to climb. Just gonna pitch for speed. Until we get up to 36, and then we'll be back to manually setting our power. Got somebody out there out ahead of us. Let's see, is traffic turned on? 4 flights. So Ilya, what you doing up? Are you working, or are you just chilling at the house? Traffic. CLX. Cargo Lux. Yep. So that is out there to our, on our left side, that is a Cargolux 747-8, 33,000 feet. Don't know where they're going. If I had to guess, probably be Miami. It's really cool that I can pick up live traffic in ForeFlight that is then, or at least, ooh, what'd they just do? They hit severe turbulence? But yeah, so actually it's the other way around. So we're injecting live traffic into the sim, which is then showing up on ForeFlight. Pretty neat. And guys, don't forget, if you haven't already, please smash the like button. Y'all know that'd be important, and greatly appreciated if you do. But only do it if you're enjoying the content. If you're not enjoying the content, feel free to dislike it. It will hurt my feelings. I'm quite soft. Often, if I see a dislike, I might cry myself to sleep. a time or two. I actually have to put my head on my girlfriend's shoulder so that her shirt can absorb my tears, because it makes me very, very sad. Just kidding. But please smash the like button. Yeah, that almost looks like a 200 from this angle. Getting sleepy, which is weird. I don't usually get tired this early. Thanks for the red-eye entertainment for us night shifters out here. There you go. So I'm assuming you're working. And so Ilya, are you having to do like you did at my company and do like get signed off as a dispatcher first, do the whole dispatch thing, like ground school, OJT, comp check, and then to your actual position you were hired for? Or are you just going straight to that position? And speaking of your company, we have a newer international chief pilot. He's been with us now for like 6 or 7 months or so. He's our director of operations, like right-hand man. He's tasked with the international stuff. Him and I have actually been working a lot together, trying to, like, as he identifies cracks where things may fall into the cracks or slip through the cracks. Him and I, if there's anything that involves dispatch, like we seal those cracks up together. But he actually used to, I think he implemented the 7576 program at National. He's been a director of operations. He's been a system chief pilot. He's been like pretty much everything but the CEO of an airline. The dude is it's pretty sharp and a little bit intimidating, to say the least. But definitely a ton of knowledge. Oh, I know why it's doing that. Give me my keyboard. There we go. I'll change the discrepancy on the flight plan and for flight. Is it just me, or does it look like, I mean, we did just turn a little bit, but it looks like we're still banking. But we're not. We're 1,000 to go, flying wings level. That would drive me. I would think that we're flying in 360s if I left it that way. But nope, it's just the camera turned a little lopsided. Straight into the position because they need the hands. Gotcha. But when the next initial class starts, I hope I'm able to jump in. Oh, okay. And that doesn't really surprise me. The aviation community in Florida isn't that big. Yeah, that's very true. All the pilots in their boats, they wanna be in Florida. You know, there's that whole stigma of like, if you're around a pilot, you'll know it because they'll tell you that they're a pilot. I'll tell you what. I mean, it seems like it's even worse about their boats. Like, they far more care about their boats than they do anything airplane. I would imagine the winds aren't worse higher up, because initially when I ran the flight plan, it wanted me at 36. Actually, it wanted me at 38. But usually this flight's not an hour and 23 minutes. Usually it's like an hour and 5 at most. We just got some really strong winds aloft. So now I'm curious though. I want to check and make sure that the winds are not stronger higher up, because that would result in a higher fuel burn, flying slower. I ain't trying to do that. Alright, so at our current position, based off ForeFlight, shown winds aloft at 55 knots, flight level 360. If we take that down to 33, showing them pretty much the same. Yeah, the wind speeds are the same. Wind directions vary slightly. To get into less of a headwind, we'd have to get down to 27,000 feet, and that would reduce our headwind by 5 knots. Not worth it. Be a much higher fuel burn going that low too. Runway 4. Insert B4 MLU. Why is it not giving me my, there it goes. Show keyboard. And I want waypoints. CFBJX. Insert. And then from there, insert. We want Sabar. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. So we're back into that realm where we have to set our own power. So I'm trying to watch that. So right now we're currently flying over a military operating area, over the Merid 1 Echo, which has a floor of 8,000 feet up to 18,000 feet. And we're about to cross another one, which is area 443, surface from ground to 4,000 feet. And we're actually going to graze right by a, what's this thing called? Aerial map. The C-Ray Target Range Complex. Where they do live fire. Live fire outside. We should be able to see it. Let's see. There it is. That is a military target range. So out of shits and giggles, let's go down there. We'll come back to the airplane. Ha! Cabana! What is up, dude? Are you working? Especially them Delta boys. Gordo, what is going on, my friend? Welcome aboard. Actually, welcome to, what was this called again? The C-Ray Target Range Complex. So you can definitely tell it is for sure a target range. It's kind of neat. It'd be kind of cool to like be the people who come out here and set shit up, and I don't know, like whatever people would do. It'd be really cool to like see A-10s and whatever coming out here. What else we got going on around us? It's pretty much it. We are in a giant ass military operating area. The Myriad 1 Whiskey, I would assume would be west, that extends all the way out to almost Jackson, Mississippi. So that's a pretty large military area. And after that, we're clear of all MOAs. Hell, we're clear of everything. Damn, I didn't. So there's also a military operating area, Gina, from 1,000 feet AGL up to 5,000 feet, just south of my hometown. I kind of assumed there was something down there because there's we got a army base, Fort Pope, not too far south of Monroe. Hell, they got some firing ranges out there. They got a bunch of firing ranges out there. It'd be pretty cool to live close to a firing range. Hear airplanes flying around and Apaches flying around, off in the distance. That'd be pretty cool. And 4-flight's the shit. Speed's looking good. I think we got our power set just right, so we should be able to be hands off for the most part. I feel you on that, dude. The last 4 days that I was off, I think the earliest I went to sleep, well, one night, I think around 11 o'clock, took some Z-Quil, fell asleep around midnight, and I found out like my body was asleep, my brain sure shit wasn't. So I was awake by like 3:30. It was really annoying. I think the earliest that I woke up on my 4 days off was like 2:30 in the afternoon. The whole day's gone. Didn't like really affect streaming too, because I want to stream more, but I can't get my ass up. It's starting to get hot in this computer room now. So far, I think this is the smoothest CRJ flight I've ever done. So far. Now, things tend to go wrong whenever we're descending and trying to land. Florida Wing says also doing overnights, not even working tonight, just can't. I'm telling you, I have the same problem. I'm gonna be off for the next 6, and it's gonna fuck me up pretty good. I need to plug my phone in. Got 15%, and I'm on call, so like my phone needs to be able to work. And around 3:30, if I had to guess, I'm probably gonna get a call from Javier or Jim, as Ilya and Jeff will know because they are former co-workers. Every morning when he gets in at 3:30, he has IT issues, and he calls me to tell me about it. You know, there's not a damn thing I can do to help. At least, me knowing though does, I guess, in a way help. So we know for OLR delay codes, if get any delay codes put on dispatch. Ba-dum. Whew. It's HOT up in here. So Jeff, what time do you get off work? Was it 6:30 that you've been getting off? And are you just like, are you reserve and they got you on this shift, or like nobody wants the overnight so you're able to hold a line on the night shift? Wherever that phone's still, no, it's still powered up. I don't have it plugged in like I usually do. Oh man, you know what? I'm a dumbass. Let me open this window. It's like 40 something degrees outside. Why would I not have the window open? Scheduled until 6:30, off at 6. I'm just on random shifts until April 1st when I pick up my line. Dude, that's pretty good though that you are going to be holding a line that quick. Their bid year runs April 1st. Interesting. And I was going to ask too, but I forgot what I was going to ask. I was going to ask you something. Shit. It's says, interested in buying flight sim for Xbox Series X. What joystick do you recommend, and do you recommend foot pedals for the price? I know they've started making some Xbox specific joysticks. I would always recommend rotor pedals. I've had them for so long, there's no way I could fly without them. Doing the whole twisty thing for me like just doesn't work, especially when you're landing in a crosswind and you need to kick it over last minute. Like, you kind of want the precision that you can give with your feet. So in the past I've used rotor pedals for like actual flying, and I left the twist function on my joystick as my tiller to be able to steer on the ground. Because airliners, I always fly airliners. Airliners have tillers. They don't use rotor pedals for most of the steering. They have some, like airliners, you can use rotor pedals a little bit. I think you have like 10 to 15 degrees of turn, maybe a little bit more than that. But the tiller gives you like a solid 85 degrees, 87 degrees of nose wheel turn. So as far as joystick, in all honesty, like I've never even owned an Xbox in my life. But I did just see an Xbox specific or Xbox compatible, and it's built and designed based around the Xbox. I saw a review. There we go. It's called the Velocity One Flight Stick by Turtle Beach. Yeah, so that's the joystick. Now, again, like I don't really know much about this. This is the first time I've actually ever even looked at this. I just happened to remember the article from a day or two ago. but it has buttons like Xbox buttons on it, with a couple of different axes on the sides for like throttle, spoilers, stuff like that. That's cool. It's got some sort of display on top, along with some hat switches. Hell, you can even put your trim, bind your trim to that. Yes, as you can see, it's got the Xbox button. It's designed with Xbox in mind. And Turtle Beach is a pretty reputable company in regards to flight controls. It's got a ton of customizable RGB lights, which is pretty neat. It looks like they even flew it in DCS, and DCS is quite a bit more demanding. So are you talking like a joystick and pedal combo kind of a thing? Damn, Joe, that's not terrible. 5 on, 4 off. I mean, it's still not as good as 4 on, 4 off. 9-hour shifts, that's pretty cool. Yeah, man, not a problem at all. I don't know if they make combos for Xbox with pedals. I do know they have combos with pedals and a joystick. They may or may not be compatible with Xbox products. And it looks like this article is strictly just a review of the joystick, and it doesn't really mention anything about Xbox, at least a whole lot. Microsoft Flight Simulator X-Plane 12 conclusion. Retail price is currently $129. If you're buying the flight stick for a child, I would consider one easier to move. Okay, so it sounds like it's got quite a bit of tension, which is not a bad thing. Typically, the more tension you have, the more precise inputs you can give. Let's keep looking. We'll move this over here while I'm searching. I'm sure we can find you something. Let's see. I don't think most are not going to be combos or have pedals with them. Typically, a joystick might come with a throttle, but it doesn't usually come with rudder pedals. Most people tend to like to have those separately. There's probably just as many people who don't want pedals as there are who do. A lot of people are just like, hey, I'll just use the twist function and be fine with that. So it might actually be hard to find them as a combo. From what I'm seeing, I'm not really seeing too many I'm not seeing any specific combos. Some like computer stores will offer like all three together, but you're essentially paying for two products separately that are usually separate, that just come together, but they're not usually offered together. The only one that I do see is this, but I don't think this is going to be compatible with Xbox. It's Thrustmaster T 16,000 flight pack. Buddy of mine has these rudder pedals. They're not bad. They're a little bit close together for my liking, but they're not bad rudder pedals at all, especially like if you're just getting into flight sim. Got a throttle, got a joystick. The only thing I don't know is if it's compatible with Xbox, and more than likely it's not, because I think most Thrustmaster products you have to go and install drivers. It's like this: the Target software allows you to load and create specific mapping profiles for each game. So that is a separate piece of software that you would only be able to use on a PC. I wonder if anybody has asked about Xbox. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be compatible. So you'll probably have to buy them separately. You can get a combo for the joystick and the throttle, but you're not. It's gonna be hard to find a combo with a joystick and rotor pedals, unfortunately. So as far as the joystick being by itself, you can definitely fly with just a joystick. So every joystick comes with a little axis that you can use for throttle. So that's, you need a throttle axis. So it's got that. It's got pitch, it's got roll, and it's got yaw. Your three important axes of flight. So as long as you have those four things, your three axes for flight and your throttle, those are your absolute bare basic functions that you need. And any joystick will have that. The only other thing that you have to do is make sure that whatever joystick you're looking at is compatible with an Xbox. I think most of them would be. It's the throttles and the rotor pedals that seem to not be as compatible with a Xbox as versus a joystick. But yeah, you can absolutely do it with just a joystick. Is it going to be super immersive? Probably not, but it sounds to me like you're just starting out in X-Plane. So I would definitely want to feel things out, or you should feel things out first before having like a crazy setup like mine. Like right now I'm running a Boeing setup since I'm flying, or not. Oh man, did my phone die? Yeah, figured it would. Oh well. I can show you a picture instead of video. But see, I've been doing this stuff for years. I've been flight simming since 2019. It's about time to start descending. Oh, actually, it says we should have descended a long time ago. Top of descent's right, well behind us. Let's go altitude. Take it down to 2,000 feet. And let's go vertical speed. Go down. Thrust idle. Send to 3,000 feet per minute. See how that works. Yeah, let me pull up a picture of my setup for you, just to kind of give you an idea like how some people like me kind of go over the top. Now I'm a manager of flight dispatch at an airline that flies Airbus, so I've become quite the fan of Airbus aircraft, and that definitely influences my flight simulator setup. But again, I've been doing this since 2009. One of my biggest goals in life was to get to the point where I could have a pretty badass setup, and I think I finally kind of reached that point in my life. But you know, it takes a lot of time and a lot of hard work to get to where you want to go in life with anything. So just to compare like our conversation, I started with just a joystick, and now this is what I'm flying. And I've got a 1-for-1 Airbus tiller, a 1-for-1 Airbus side stick, a 1-for-1 Airbus McDo, and a mostly 1-for-1 Airbus center pedestal. And then those are my Thrustmaster rotor pedals. So this is where I'm at now. But when I first started simming, all I had was a joystick and a little laptop that wasn't even a gaming laptop. I didn't even know what a gaming laptop was, in all honesty. and now I'm to this point. So start out with the joystick and work your way up. If flight sim turns into something that you really like, then work your way up from there. I mean, if it wasn't for the flight sim, I would not be where I'm at in my professional aviation career. The flight sim has taught me so much about airplanes, how airplanes work, what the pilots are doing, and what kind of workload they're under, which affects my job and what I do with them. So the flight sim is it's a useful tool. I need to, what was I about to do? Oh yeah, I need to tune ILS. So radio, ILS frequency, where are you at? Let's hide that. And we're looking at 109.5. So we want nav 109.50. Drop that in there. Nav 2 as well. And we want our course heading of 42 degrees. So I might have to tune that when we get a bit closer. See, my TCAS is off, but I need to turn that thing on. I don't remember how to turn on TCAS. Oh well, I don't really care. Oh man, we already flew over the Mississippi. There's Mississippi back there behind us. Rejected takeoff. Before departure, runway 26 right, crew received hot brake message. I've been in the cockpit when that happened. Hot brakes message, aircraft vacated runway to cool off the brakes. Takeoff roll never initiated. That was out in Vegas. So if you're ever a real life pilot flying in Vegas, there's some downward slopes on the taxiways, and you got to be careful because you don't want to like taxi too fast. But the problem is, as you ride the brakes heat up. And in a place like Vegas, especially in the summertime where it gets awful hot, those brakes will heat up even faster. You'll get a hot brake temp. You'll have a hot brake temp, and then you have to peel off and wait for your brakes to cool off, and it takes a little while. Most of our aircraft don't have brake fans either, so it elongates the process. I need Monroe's weather. Current weather. 3044 on the altimeter. Alright, you have to turn ATC select knob to the 1 position. Let's look for it. Oh yeah, no shit, duh. I remember that. And then let's come back here. Let's go auto. Bam, look at that. Now it's on. Thank you. Are you a CRJ expert? In my opinion, you might as well be a CRJ like real life pilot, because You know a lot more about this airplane than I do. Let's dial that speed down. Oh shit, I didn't want to do that. Go nav, 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 nav. Yeah, I hit the heading button on my Bravo. Seatbelt sign is coming on. Seat those passengers. Turn on flight control replay, so we'll have that at the ready, so we can record the landing. I don't think I've ever done a replay on the in this. And so it's just if you're still watching, yeah, I would say start with the joystick. And if you're really enjoying it, then go for the rotor pedals. The rotor pedals will make your experience probably like 5 times better, in all honesty. And then just as you like it even more and more, just keep on buying more shit. Get all those lights on. I'm gonna turn that music off. And stand by. Yeah, bet y'all weren't expecting that. Actually, probably were. If you watch my channel at all, I do that somewhat often. Alright, so opposite runway heading is going to be probably, what is it, 222? Yep, 222 degrees. So let's set that in the heading, so we can fly the downwind. Let's see, wham brake out there. Yeah, so that's wham brake. That is out there by my parents' house where I grew up. Lots of duck hunting going on out there in the wintertime. Sounds like a war zone. Alright, let's go into heading mode. Make a left turn, be on the downwind. Get us parallel to runway heading. And then once we get parallel to CFBJX. We'll go direct to that fix. And then join the ILS. Alrighty, speed. Let's slow the speed down a bit. Let's go performance. And we'll set all for the landing. Our VREF is 132 knots. Winds are calm, so we'll leave it at 132 as our VREF. Get our chair all set up, like all pilot-y stuff, you know, so we can look cool. And guys, if you haven't yet, please smash the likey button. The more likes, the better I fly CRJs. That is a lie. I don't fly CRJs good at all. So I just lied to you. I'm sorry. We'll go ahead and go flaps 1. So let's go into the wing view mode first. Actually, let's do this one. This looks better. Got those slats coming out. Love seeing the slats. Alright, let's go direct to CFBJX. Execute nav. Airplane should start turning. I don't know what those clicks are. Oh, actually, I bet I do. It's frickin' FS realistic. Flap lever, yeah. That's what that was. Alright, reversers are armed. Noseable steering is on. Real life, you wouldn't turn it on until you land and on the ground, but I'm going to turn it on because I'll forget. Alrighty, runway heading is 042, so we're going to set that in case we need to go around. Damn, that shot. You can't turn this thing very fast, otherwise it just takes off on you. .042 sets. And then our missed approach altitude is 3,000, so we'll set that once we get established. Approach is armed. For some reason, the airplane stopped at 2,500 feet, not 2,000 like it was supposed to. Alright, slow it down to 170. Alright, so we are tracking to the Loke. Loke's coming in. We're Go flaps 8. Got the airport in sight out here. And let's start recording. Alright, we are established on the localizer and glide slope. And we're about 7 miles out. So we'll go ahead, go gear down. Set our VREF 132. And a slight quartering headwind from the left. It might be more of a headwind. It's weird though, because the winds were not. Yeah, actually, I guess they were close to a straight up headwind. Crossing the outer marker. Go flaps 20. It's a nice angle. And we'll go flaps full. It's so nice I got the PFD still popped up on my other monitor so I can still watch the speed, let the airplane track the ILS, and give y'all some good cinematic shots. Wow, I don't know if it's actually tracking a localizer or not. That's pretty bad. Autopilot's off. My airplane. Crossing over I-20 in the Pecanland Mall off of our left wing, or Pecan as some northern weirdos say it. My apologies to any of you northerners. Floaty McFloater. Rudders are working. Manual braking. Not too bad. It was extremely floaty. I was trying to make it look good. The stream has been for my CRJ-ness. It's been way too good, way too smooth. So I was trying to like top it off with that little cherry on the top. Alrighty. Let's get her cleaned up. We'll do it from the outside. APU doors open. Starting the APU. I don't know what. So in real life, Delta parks at gate 1 and 2. But I don't see a gate. I don't see any gates in that menu. So what we'll do though is we'll leave the engines on. We'll get reconfigured for landing so that we can watch the replay. And then I'm going to bed when we're done. Let's see if I get a phone call here in about the next 10 minutes from one of my spatch guys. So this is the gate we park at in real life. We got a marshaller, so that's good. Whoopsies, too much turning. Whoa, that was out of nowhere. Alright, parking brake set. And let's pretend like we just shut down. Ooh, we floated like a son of a bitch, but we touched down -64, so that's cool. I'll take it, especially in the CRJ. Let's get rid of Atlanta altogether because it'll keep tracking us in replay mode. Quit that. I don't think there's anything else we really need to shut off. Get rid of that. Yes, in the flight. Oh man, I lost all my data. Like I lost this flight and packs because I hadn't shut down the engines and stuff. But who cares? I think everything else that needs to be off is off. Okay, stop recording. Flaps full. Get all them lights on. And let's load it up. What is that sound? Alright, so we'll watch it like this first. I think it's a pretty good angle. A lot of correcting. Don't take that light back, man. Come on. The algorithm needs to work. And you know, I thought I was a lot closer to the ground than I really was. Trying to hold that nose. I wasn't nearly as close as I thought it was. So I can still control the flight controls. That's cool. Maybe we will watch this a few times, and then we'll retry. Like we'll put it on approach and hit live and see if we can't re-land it again and not suck. It might pick back up. Let's see. Hoping it does. Alright, yeah, so we are back. So I'll explain to y'all what just happened. So there's a little odd thing with my computer. It's got something to do with the graphics card and it being like I don't know, like if I bump my computer, it's almost like I need to go open up the side panel and shit, let me get some music because it sounds really weird, like it's too quiet. Alright. And that song sounds too sexy. Anyways, so if I bump my computer, it's almost like it jiggles the graphics card a bit. I mean, think about a 4090, it's so damn big. So anyways, when that happens, if I don't go open the side panel and like really make sure it's like pushed and seated very well, then what'll happen, which is what just happened, out of nowhere, it'll like I can't really even explain it. All my monitors go black, and it sounds like all the fans and the radiator and everything like kick up to 100%, and the computer is just like, it's almost like the computer just shit the bed. And it's like, oh my god, I don't know what's going on. So it just like runs at like max RPM, everything goes black, and I have to like physically hold the button down on the computer to turn it off and turn it back on. So that's what just happened, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is. I would say we could fire the sim back up since we recorded the landing, but you know, we saw it twice. So I'm sure everybody doesn't really care to keep watching the same landing over and over again, so we won't bother with it because it'll take a solid 10 minutes for the fucking sim to fire back up. Let's see though. Let's see if we can't finish it out with something. Let me see if I have anything worth a watching. I'm gonna venture to say probably not. I don't know what half the stuff is. That may not be a bad one. See if I can select this where you can hear it. Properties. Here we go. And I'll see if there's some more shit. So at least we're finishing on something, right? Don't even know where the hell I'm flying into on this, but it was a nasty winter day. .23 knot gust from the right side. A little squirrely on the landing. Oh, why'd that go away? I want the type. I really just want to remember where the hell this was landing at. It's clearly third-party scenery. One for left, 3-2 right. Maybe Boise? I don't know. Not really sure where this is at. I love that drone camera. Let's see, what is this? I think I was actually just videoing stuff, like random stuff, yeah, for the intro. The same intro we've all seen. That was short-lived. A nice 1 second long video. We can delete that. This is Oakland. Flaps full, landing checklist. Cabin crews advised. Auto thrust speed, auto brakes none. Eco memo, landing all green. Landing checklist is complete. That would be the landing checklist. And again, if you're just joining us, this is pre-recorded because our computer decided to shit the bed and freak out for no good reason. So I figured let's play a little something before we head off for the night. Let me pretend like I'm flying. That's just like sacrilegious to like fly an Airbus with a yoke. Shame on anybody who's done that.
500.
I don't care if they can't afford a side stick or not. Shame on you. Oh, does it really just cut off like that? That's bogus. This is LaGuardia. All right. Last METAR is reading 3/4 of a mile. We are on the standard Cat 1 ILS runway. I can definitely tell that this was shortly after the LSU game I went to because I barely have a voice. 4 into LaGuardia on a 7-mile final. So we'll go manage speed, gear down, arm spoilers, and flaps 3. Voice is a little bit hoarse from the LSU Purdue game that I went to. And flaps full. Landing checklist. Alrighty, landing checklist. Captain crew is advised. Auto thrust, speed, auto brakes, medium. Economy mode, landing, all green. Landing checklist is complete. Alright guys, we'll finish it out with this. Hope y'all have a great night. For those of y'all who come to hang out for this first red eye that we had, that went surprisingly smooth. Went surprisingly smooth for the first time ever in a CRJ for me. But I greatly appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for all the support and coming to hang out in the channel. And we will have to do this again very soon. Hope the rest of y'all have a good, or not the rest of y'all, but hope y'all have a good rest of your night / morning, especially if you're working. And we'll see y'all on the next one. And as always, be good at it, and keep it on the wrong side. See y'all later.
500. 400. 100 above.
And we got the
300.
approach lights. We're good to continue.
Minimum.
Continue.
200.
Weather sucks. So do the frame rates.
100.
Flight slope. Flight slope.
40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.